What is going on? What is going on, yo? So today in this video, we're going to be working with the Epson Expression XP-440. If you've been following the channel, a couple of months ago, I bought a few of these off of the Epson website. and really great printers. I was really blown away by the quality. I like that they're light. I like that they're compact. The only drawback is the cartridges. They just simply don't hold enough ink if you're going to be doing sublimation printing. So I'm going to try to put a tank on the side of it some kind of way and get it routed through like I do. I don't do the whole throw the tubes over the top and through the side of the top of the printer. I've seen a couple of kits that they make for this printer that they look like they can do the job, but I'm extra, so I gotta go inside this printer some kind of way. The only drawback that I'm seeing, a challenge that I'm seeing, is this right here. I don't know how I'm gonna get my tubes underneath here. The CiSS kits, the cartridges are a little bit shorter, so the tubes can come out and move throughout the top of the printer. I don't have that luxury, so because I make all of my CiSS kits myself. So the first step is to get this thing taken apart. So I'm going to set this up and let you guys check it out while I do it. Actually, before I get started, also, if you've been watching these other videos, all of the printers that I have, they all have Chipless firmware. So, whatever I do, if you take a look at these cartridges here, they don't even have chips on them. They're just blank cartridges meant to put ink over the top of the nozzle. So as long as there's ink in these printers, they'll print. So it doesn't have to necessarily be the cartridge for this printer. So this printer takes a 288 XL Epson cartridge, but this size cartridge right here will also fit inside of the 7710 or the 3640. So it'll also fit inside the 252 XL as well. But if you don't have chips, it doesn't really matter. That's what the printer is read is the chips on there. So if you have a chipless firmware, you'll be able to do so many things with your printers. That's what I tell everybody. The first step in sublimation printing with these Epson printers is to get a chipless firmware. It's not to go get the cartridges. It's not to find out what ink you want to use. Make sure that the printer that you have supports a chipless firmware. Not all printers do. Some of them don't. So find out if your printer can get a chipless firmware. I'll put a link in the description to where to find the instructions on installing the chipless firmware. But yeah, so now we'll go ahead and tear it down. All right, so we got it pretty much opened all the way up. Got both of the covers off. One of them fell. So we got both the covers off on the sides. Also, we have the scanner bed off. So now I have to figure out how I want to route the tubes through here. I was thinking that we could go behind here, but I don't think there's enough room behind this bracket and behind the carriage. It's just not enough room, I don't think, on that side. I really don't know what I'm gonna do. So I'm going to continue to look for a route to get in here and see there is, the paper's got to come through here and out. So I can't have the tubes laying down here like the Ecotank has its tubes laying in the front here, and it feeds into the dampers this way. So I don't know how I'm gonna route it through here. I'll take a look around and see what I can come up with, and I'll come back. All right, so I think I found a route. I got this expanded here so you guys can kind of see it. This is going to be the tank is going to be on the side, and then I got the tubes running in the back of the printer through this hole here, and then inside of the printer, the tubes are going to find their way through this hole that I burnt in right there in that area. I had to move this wire, unscrew this wire and move it out of the way. And then I burnt another hole through here for the tubes. And now they're going to sit on the front. So they're going to mirror this printer cable. So I have to find a way to support these tubes in the front so it looks more like this. Don't know what I'm gonna do yet, but I kind of have an idea. So I'm gonna pause it here and come back when I got this idea that I have in my head, when I have it. Okay, so I got it back together, and now you can get a better idea of what I was talking about. So again, it's going through the back here. This will be mounted to the side. The tank will be mounted to the side, and now the challenge is to get something to support this tube this way so that it can move. Oh shit. Hold up. Alright, yeah, so it can move back and forth. So we got it that way. The challenge is gonna get this, is gonna be to get that other cover on and be able to go all the way over to this side and find a way to support this tube. So got a kind of an idea of how I want to do it. It's rather simple, but let me put it together and then I'll come back. All right, so I got this diagram that I made up in my head. Basically, I got to cut a piece of scrap aluminum, and I'm going to stretch it between these 2 points here and mount this tube into it so that we can go into the side of this carriage here. All right, I'll cut it and then show it to you. All right, so I got my little aluminum template. I use actually cut up piece of metal, metal sign, that 8x12 sign that I use for sublimation. It's the back side of one. So anyways, got the little piece that I needed cut, and the way it's gonna work is I'm gonna slip this in here. And basically that's gonna create a wall inside of the printer. And that wall is gonna have the tubing connected to it so that it can have something to support it while it moves back and forth into the in the print carriage here. So I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can tidy this up a little bit and get it routed properly and mount it down, because what I'm gonna wind up doing is mounting this so that it's it's pressed up against the back of this, so it has more than enough room for this carriage to move with the tubes in front of it. I can't do it and hold the camera at the same time, so I'm gonna get all this set up, and then I'm gonna come back and show it to you guys. Okay, so I got my piece of metal in here, and I put some notches in it so that I can route this tube better. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. And so what I'm gonna do is just take these little notches that I cut, in the aluminum. I'm gonna open those up, and what that's gonna do is allow me, yes, to go like that, and then I can kind of use those aluminum tabs that I snapped off to kind of hold that in place. So then I'm gonna take this and route it through the side of this guy. Like that. So here, into the side of the carriage, and now should be able to go to the left. And again, I'm trying to do this with one hand, y'all, so bear with me. And I can move it to the right. And this cable, this tube is tucked nicely out of the way. So now I just gotta get the right side cover on, and hopefully it'll tuck in there nicely without hitting the inside of this. If it does, what'll happen is when you turn this on, you'll probably get a paper jam, or it'll think that it's a paper jam because this can't fully go to the home position. So I'm gonna go ahead and pause this here, put this back together, and then see where I stand with the carriage going back and forth with the tube, with this piece of aluminum holding the tube up. All right, so it looks like we are good to go. We got the carriage able to go all the way to the right hand side and click into the home position without any binding going on. It looks like the little aluminum plate that we made is holding up pretty well. It's holding the tube in place while the carriage moves back and forth. So if you look, you can see it holds it up pretty well. No bonding, and it goes all the way through. So with that being said, since we have to go through the side of this carriage here, I'm gonna have to use dampers from the Ecotank printers on here, and That'll be the only way I can get it to work. I can't come out of the top or anything with these because there just isn't any room for the tubes and the cartridges to sit inside of here. I could modify this and kind of, or I could just take this piece off and run it with this thing off. Huh? Can I just take that off? Nah, we're gonna do it right. So we'll wind up using dampers in here. And hold up. Nah, we're gonna do it right. So we'll wind up using dampers in here and get the tubes over to them. Once I do that, I'll be able to mount this box here, and then I'll put the scanner unit back on the top, and we should be Gucci. And we should be Gucci after that. So stay tuned. I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing put back together. Okay, so we got the printer reassembled, and I was able to turn it on and not get any errors. So we're able to get this configuration working. It goes all the way to the left, all the way to the right, without any kind of issues. You got the tank mounted. It's actually mounted to the printer now. It's just short enough so that it's not getting in the way of the scanner closing. So the scanner bed can open and close all the way. Let me show you what it looks like in the back. Oh, here's the tank. You see we haven't filled it up yet. In the back, you just have that going there to there. Once you put it up against a wall or something, you can't even tell. So, like I said, man, these installs are coming out really clean. And this is what it would look like. So now the next step, like I said, is just to configure it so that we can get these dampers inside of here and get some ink to them. Now, to get these dampers to fit, I have to modify them a little bit by cutting a couple of these ribs off of here so that it fits inside of there properly. But once I do that, I should be able to draw the ink and be good to go. So stay tuned. I'll come back with it when I get it to that point. Okay, so we got the ink tank filled up. As you can see, I got it filled up with the Dynamite Gorilla ink. That'll be available on the website soon, if it's not up by the time this video gets out there. But I've been doing some tests with some ink and finally decided to get some of my own. So that'll be on the website soon. But yeah, we got the dampers primed. So basically you have to put a syringe in here and pull all the way until it fills this chamber up. Then I pull out another like 20 to 30 mils, not 30 mils, pull out another like 10 to 20 mils of ink just to make sure, and then I dump it back into the tank. You see a couple of bubbles there, but those will go away once we do the head cleanings and everything like that. So gonna go ahead and pop this in. Just want to show you guys what those looks like. Like I said, those are the Ecotank dampers we're gonna have to use in lieu of the cartridges. Uh-oh. Those are a little twisted, but I'll be alright. Yeah, they'll be alright. They ain't kinked or nothing. So, like I said, this goes all the way to the left, and it goes all the way to the right. And didn't give us any kind of issues. So, I'm going to go ahead and turn this on. Get this plugged up and turned on here. Sorry about that. Alright, so should be able to get some power going. Just make sure it doesn't come up with any errors. That was just a paper, confirm. Okay, it looks like it's done with this initialization, so I'm going to go ahead and get to a head clean. And then we're going to do a nozzle check after. So right now it's going to do a head clean. And again, it's not giving me any errors yet, so I'm assuming that everything's good to go. I'm going to go ahead and shut this down just to make sure, but that's it, what it looks like when it closed down and pretty much ready to go. Like I said, very, very clean and very compact. And once this, once you add an ink tank to it, you have the ability to print for a very long time, at least the amount of pages that are in the paper holder here. So we'll go ahead and let it finish cleaning up, and then we'll go ahead and show some footage of the sublimation. Okay, had to fix a lighting issue, so we went ahead and got the heads clean, or the print head clean, and did a few purge files to make sure everything was running smoothly. So now we're going and we're doing some prints with it now. Went ahead and cleaned those tubes up. They were twisted before, so they're kind of straight. Well, they're straight now. As you can see, this is that back wall I built out of a piece of scrap aluminum, and that's going to hold this tube here, and it holds it in the middle here in this little cut that I made, and that goes and lets the tubing pivot. Just doing a little recap. The tank sits on this side, exits left, and then it goes into a port that we burnt into the back. Now this tank is actually connected to the printer, so, but you can take it on and off here. Actually comes off and snaps right back down on here, like so. Alright, again, it's printing just fine. Again, you have to have chipless firmware in order to do any of this stuff. And we're using A-Sub 125 for this test, and we're using Dynamite Gorilla Ink. So we'll go ahead and let this finish printing out. Seems to be working fine. Oh, I gotta close the scanner down so y'all can see that. Yeah, so there it is in all its glory, man. Epson Expression XP-440. We're gonna be doing some sublimation on it. But you can also use this method for pigment ink as well, still by using the tank and routing it through the printer that way. It was a total of 3 screws all together, so it's real easy to take apart, real easy to work with. I think I was in it in under 6 minutes, and I was in there burning holes into the machine. The carriage has holes in it already, so you just kind of feed the tube straight through it. So that was pretty quick. But yeah, it's printing now. We'll go ahead. I got the heat press warming up, so I'll let this finish up, and I'll show you the finished results. Okay, we got the images printed, and I actually pressed in 2 substrates. I'm going to be pressing aluminum and nylon. We're going to be doing a mask and a license plate. License plate is ready now. I like to press my plates under a Teflon mat, and I like to press them with the shiny side up. So, yeah, put this down over here, let that cool for a second. I'm actually letting this print dry underneath the heat presses right now. But this one has a cushion underneath it, and this one doesn't, and this one does better with the nylon after I press it flat. So make sure I ain't got no joints in here. Look. Alright, so yeah, press out nylon on this side. I press my aluminum on this side. So let me go ahead and set this up so y'all can see it. Now these was pressed on with the Dynamite Gorilla Ink, and I pressed this at set up for Celsius, so it's 200 degrees Celsius at I think I do 60 seconds on it. Shit. So yeah, in 60 seconds. Let me get this light out of here so y'all can see that. And I also this is printed at just base Adobe RGB driver out of the Epson on your Epson driver. So it's just basically using the base RGB, and yeah, it looks really decent, man, with that ink. Like I said, base RGB. I think the gamma set at 2.2. Yeah, 2.2. Yeah, so that's the aluminum, and I'll go ahead and pause it here, and then I'll show you the polyester. I said nylon earlier. What the hell am I thinking about? Yeah, polyester. It's a polyester mask. So that's what we're gonna be pressing next. Stay tuned. Okay, so I'm gonna start wrapping this up. This is the polyester mask getting ready to come out of here. So I'm not that great at doing masks. I don't really do a lot of soft substrate, a lot of shirts and anything like that. I normally stick to license plates and aluminum substrates, hard substrates, things like that. Now these I like to press with the with this side up, and then the heat press down on this side. But I don't know, man. This printer actually prints slow enough to use the A-Sub 125. That's another drawback too. It's not the fastest printer, but if you getting set up, or if you're just starting out with sublimation, it's not a bad printer to use, especially with this shortage going on right now. I think I paid $35 for this thing, and just the parts for the ink tank and the dampers, and that was about it. But yeah, you can do it on the. It works good on. It looks good, I should say, on soft substrates too. So, like I said, Adobe 2.2, just regular RGB profile. I didn't change the sliders at all. There are times where I'll change the sliders, but this wasn't one of those times. But yeah, you can't beat the print quality of these Epson printers, man. And it looks really good on this polyester. So, yep. XP-440, man, Expression 440, not a bad printer. I think I'm under $100 altogether, excluding the ink. And you can use any ink, man. I use my ink, but you can use any of the inks out there. But yeah, if you got any questions, leave them in the comments. I'll try to answer them so everybody can see them. Thanks for watching.